Valley Club, the MSF community is on fire over the new Frozen Dimension. Is this content just too hard, or is it challenging endgame content that's locking out the majority of players? We got a secret Groot giving event on the way. Will these rewards be better or worse than Thanos giving? We got 2 new characters, 3 new teams, and a lot more are coming, and we're discussing it all in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. Joining me this week for all the ice and snow is my brother Dacier. And if you're ready for all of these topics and more, then brother Dacier, let them know what to do.
Let's go smash it.
Oh yeah, welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. This is Dacier, and this is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. We do this every single week, keeping you up to date on everything that has happened and is upcoming in Marvel Strike Force. And if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. We have at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos every single week on this channel. But without further ado, how have you been, brother Dacier? There's been some ups and downs in Marvel Strike Force, but something big dropped yesterday that has the community very, very hot. What is your thoughts on this Frozen Dimension and everything else that's happened over the past week or so?
I little mixed feelings. So I like how it's challenging, but I think they went too far on one end of the spectrum on certain things of it. I do like how it is like a dark dimension where you have a lot of time to do it. You're not just going to auto it in 15 days or like 15 minutes, but I think they kind of missed the mark a little bit on it.
All right, well, we will get to that because I think that is one of the bigger topics to discuss, but I do want to discuss this. I want to start off with this, the big gift. And what they say is this Grootmas event will be our best and biggest gift ever. You just log in daily, unlock weekly. So it looks like we're getting a new gift every week. Happy holidays and Merry Grootmas. Now, before I get your thoughts on this silhouette, I do want to read this follow-up statement. Commanders, these are to tease the mystery gifts for the Grootmas event. If they were new characters, I would wait for the content creators to finish their streams on Friday night and then post these. They love that, as we all love the late content after we release our videos. So with that in mind, brother, what do you think this can be? We have a few milestones that we got already for a gift. What is this an indication of in your mind?
So I know some people are thinking it might be like costumes for these silhouettes, which considering they said it's not like new teams, I could see it being like a costume thing. So maybe it's like Christmas lights on like Zombie Juggernaut or something on the right one, or the middle one looks like it might be like the Sentinel with like his hand up in one of those poses. Okay. The left one, I have no clue, but I could see it being like maybe holiday costumes. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, more information. They did give us a little more information in Friday's blog post. They said 3 weeks, 4 big gifts. So I guess we're getting 1 gift per week and an additional gift after that. So we already have this first week that's going on right now. If we go into the game, we have some of these fragments. We've already, if you've collected both of them, you have 1,000 of them. Most of the orbs, 2,000 fragments to get this. After 4 days, we should get the first gift for Groot. And as far as the requirements, what you need to do is spend 10 What If Winterland energy, which is pretty easy. You get a 288 free per day. You just need to spend 10 of those. And it says that completing either the first 2 weeks, so either week 1 or week 2, and the final week will get you this big extra gift after Grootmas. So costumes for the first 3 weeks, costumes again for this big gift, or do you think something different after this ends?
Maybe something different when it's over, but considering like the first one's an orb, maybe they can do something like that. I'm really curious. I just hope it's not like a Thanos giving. That's like my worst fear.
Where it's like 1,000 orbs that aren't really valuable, and you're using more time to open them than. I don't think I open all my Thanos giving orbs. I think I just left them. I'm like, this is not worth my time. I'm not gonna open this. Now we have an open all button, so it wouldn't be that
exactly.
Bad, but man, that was bad back in the days. So let me know your thoughts, Valley Club. Is this Grootmas event gonna be better or worse than Thanos giving? It has to be better, right? Because Thanos giving was one of the worst events ever. It has to be better, right?
It has to be.
Okay. I hope they don't miss the mark again, Dacier.
This one is like challenge accepted.
Dacier, one of the things I think they missed the mark on, and I think the community's in agreement over this, is this frozen dimension. A lot of different things going on here. What are some of the problems with this frozen dimension? Because there's a few of them right now.
Yeah, so there's two main issues that's going on with this. Well, three. The first is they tuned it around the absolute A-Force, which people may have Kahhori if they end up calling out for her. And the other is they have their war buffs, so any war tags that they have in war, like the old Man Logan right there, the Ares, how he steals all of your buffs, and the preloaded turn meter. It's just a little bit too much for a lot of people, and I haven't even finished it yet, which I do love the challenge. This feels like a dark dimension. I just think they overstepped it a little bit with the preloaded turn meter.
Now, do you think this was intentional? Because I may be remembering wrong, but I believe the previous pocket dimensions, things like that, were only a few days, like less than a week or a week at most. We got 18 days here, so almost 19 if you include yesterday, because it launched yesterday. Do you think all this challenge was intentional? We wanted horror content. Is this the horror content that we wanted? Or is this giving us content that's gated behind a paywall because you need the absolute A-Force? Which one is it, or is it neither? It's somewhere in between.
I think it's both. I think they knew it was going to be difficult, which is why they gave it 19 days. I think 30 days would have been perfect because there's going to be a 48-hour cooldown once you complete it. So having it to where you can do, say, 2 weeks to clear it, 2 days cooldown, 2 weeks to clear it again, I think that would have been perfect.
I think that would have been great as well. And there's a challenge for the newer players that don't have a absolute A-Force, that don't have the larger rosters. They need to, this is an older game, right? We're going on 5-6 years of this game. And, you know, we got players with developed rosters and they want challenging content. However, if they put out challenging content for those players, the players that don't have those rosters, haven't been playing for a long time, it is way too challenging. Then that's a big problem, Dacier, because the community is hot over this. We have Reddit, which is usually a salty place, but pretty much every post is about the frozen dimension. It has me rethinking everything. Is it way too much to ask for a fun game mode during the Christmas holidays? And says, you got me, I'm done. New status effect, bored. Frozen Dimension, where to submit the bug. Frozen Dimension has me thinking everything. The feedback in the community is if Frozen Dimension is going to be brutal and it's well deserved. So if we look at this is one of the most upvoted topics here. 450 upvotes in less than 19 hours. This pertains to absolute A-Force side only. The Annihilator side is an undertuned joke. Preload turn meter, war buffs, sitting for minutes, never taking a turn while the CPU slowly paper cuts your health down. Now, one of the big problems with the war buff, let me go back to this. It's not mentioned anywhere here. It's not mentioned anywhere in this. If we go back to the weekly blog post discussing this frozen dimension, doesn't mention anything about war buffs. And I think from what they said on chat, we've had previous buffs before that were stealth, that were there and active. It's just, it was so easy. Nobody even noticed. But now that we have some challenge, people are noticing that stuff. So it's purple ISO 8 gated, which I guess if you don't have Odin unlocked, that is a big problem. Do you spend your ISO 8 on this characters that could unlock Odin, or to get through this pocket dimension? I don't think if it's in a question, you spend it on Odin, this stuff, not the temporary thing. And it turns out absolute A-Force gated because you better have them or you don't have any hopes of beating this. Isn't it fun? Not engaging, doesn't give you rewards, what the hell? So where do they find the balance, Dacier? Because we want challenging content. We want stuff that's harder, but when the majority of the players aren't able to complete this, I'm not happy, even if it's hard content for me. If the majority of players can't do this, that doesn't make me happy either. So how do they find the balance?
So if there was like some form of notification saying that there were war buffs, I would be fine with it, because in Dark Dimension, they always do these specific things anyways, like this character only specials, this one here does this type of thing.
True.
So if they had that, I would be fine with it. Having 100% turn meter when you end up clearing a wave is too much. If they had maybe 50% turn meter on certain waves and not every single wave, that would be more of a puzzle to solve, because you can try to time the drop where you have your full turn meter. That way you can still get your turns in. It is doable by using the Orcus. I was doing that on the playtest. and it took me about 8 full team heals to get to the absolute A-Force legendary portion. So it is doable without them. And you have the 19 days, so you can do your heals, do your 50 core refreshes if you want, if you think the rewards are with it. Now the ISO, that I do agree with. I think if they did purple 1 and then purple 2 as opposed to purple 2, purple 3, just drop it back 1, because purple 3 is expensive. Purple 1 is like nothing. Purple 2's a little bit investment, but you'd only have to do it on 5 characters. So I'd be fine with something like that.
Gotcha. All right, more from Reddit. Pretty sure the only reason this game mode exists is to show everyone that you have to build your roster big enough to take the biggest butt pounding of your life. You load the match, wait 5 minutes or so. They take at least 6 or 7 turns each. You take your 1 turn, go cook dinner while they unload on you with some more. Then after you eat, you do the dishes, you take another turn, wait for them to unload on you some more, then you go to sleep. You wake up and you might be able to take a 3rd turn until you're dead. Rinse and repeat. Now, as you can see, I haven't been to that hard part of the A4 section yet. And I'm kind of looking forward to see actually how hard it is. Has this been your experience with this? Is this what it is? 6, 7 turns for every enemy, you take 1 and then it goes again.
It feels like it on certain notes. So Nature Boy, that is amazing. I love that.
Nature Boy's got to get back to content creation. I miss that guy.
For real.
Easily one of the worst designs ever is another highly upvoted comment on or post on Reddit. Obviously, talking about the new Frozen Dimension that just came out. I heard an issue with preloaded turn meters, think it was going to be bad, but boy, was I wrong. The Annihilators are a non-event because, and that's kind of one of the issues, right? With the previous Pocket Dimensions, Temporal Dimensions, the Annihilator nodes are kind of par for the course. Now we actually have some challenge, but it's a little, it may be a little too challenging. I don't have Kahhori yet, so I went a full Orcus team, and the result was atrocious. First node wasn't bad. It's the most boring, dreadful time wasting I've ever seen. Literally sat with my phone down, waiting for Mephisto, Captain Britain to finish me off my LDS. And then the TLDR, this event is a joke, waste of time, whatever bad thing you want to call it, most boring event to exist. And one more thing, players, Battle World is the utterly worst game mode in MSF. Frozen Dimension, hold my beer. Better or worse than Battle World, in your opinion?
So they're different painstaking things. One is like, do you want to blitz without a sim button? And the other is, do you want to stand there for 2 to 3 minutes and finally get your turn in just to die due to paper cuts?
All right, let me load up my Orcus, and I do have Kahhori. I got lucky on one of those orbs. I have Wasp, I have Ironheart, don't have Miss Marvel Classic yet. So let's see actually how difficult this is as we go in and see if we have a little different opinion. Now, I do have a few different opinions from chat this morning. This is from Royalty8113. Unpopular opinion, I like Frozen Dimension. It was challenging. I had to think, manage cooldowns. I got stopped in the last day section on day 1, which is fine. I have 3 diamond reworks, 5 red Kahhori, 3 red Miss Marvel Classic. This is the most engaging PvE content that I've had in years. All right, so also, Steven agrees with Royalty. I think it's a step in the right direction. They just missed the mark with a preloaded turn meter. Do you think if they change the turn meter, would that improve the experience?
Yeah, just have a pop-up on there, like a little message saying war buffs are active, or like, welcome to Frozen Dimension. When you reach this section, war buffs are active. Some form of notification, because I was thrown off guard when I had trauma on my entire team. Then I realized it was Sasquatch doing it. So it's like, okay, so that's in raids. I'm using Orcus, I'm not getting raid buffs, so it must be the war side of things. Gotcha.
So the communication, the war buffs, I think that should have been communicated. This is going to be 19 days instead of the usual 7. It may not be 7, but I'm remembering 7 or less in my head. It seems like it was a lot less. And so that could have been communicated. Difficulty, and this is something that you're going to go over time, not auto in day 1. Would that have, and then not have all that crazy turn meter, would that have made this a little different? Because would that have made it a little better for you? Because I thought Battle World wasn't a bad thing if they changed some details. I think they do this, they change some details, not as bad. Is that your same opinion, or is this just a trash event?
So I think this is better than the previous 2 Pocket Dimensions, because the first one we had was auto the entire thing. It was very boring. Then they had it to where it was overtuned, which I liked that difficulty, and then they made it too easy again. Yeah. Then there was the very difficult one where it was like the Infinity Watch Quicksilver node.
Okay.
And then they gave us characters. Now we have this where half of it's pure auto, and then we get a challenge. So I think they just went a little bit too far with that turn meter. That's the big thing, and the fact that it's purple ISO gated, because I honestly forgot about that part till you read the Reddit post. I agree that it should have been like purple 1, then purple 2, as opposed to all the way up to 3.
I was trying to auto basic with these guys. They're not going to auto basic, so let's quit out, because I want to talk about the rewards for this, because that's one of the other complaints. It's a lot of time, very, very grindy, but there's a lot of not a lot of rewards for this. You're getting some crimson gear here. You're getting a red star for a sentinel. You're getting a bunch of gold, which is good. Diamond orb fragments, ISO 8, purple ions. We got some basic T3 orb fragments and battle world credits. You do the first run and the second run, 60,000 of them, and then a bunch of snow globes as well. It looks like 100,000 snow globes. Are these rewards worth these? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth grinding it hard, building your characters for these potential rewards? And there's some good node rewards as well, but is it worth it for you?
No, if my roster wasn't done, I would just do up to what I have. The rewards, I mean, 5 of each of them was mini uniques is nothing, and then 10 for the second run. That's a lot of crimson gear. So if you're like not even have Mephisto yet, I wouldn't even worry about this. The purple ISO, so you get 120k, which is like a third of a character, and then you get the rest of that character on the second run. That's kind of nothing when it's requiring that much purple ISO in there. The battle world credits, I feel sorry for the people that's wanted to farm those characters, but you don't have the ISO. Everyone
in the community wants to farm those characters.
Yeah. And then the snow globes, so that's an extra 3 million gold on each run, because it's 3 million gold to get.
That's 10 of those astral energy things for the Shadow King event.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's not great, which I'm fine with, like fun content, bad rewards. That's what Cosmic Crucible is to me. The rewards aren't worth it, but I have fun doing it. This one, it could be fun without that turn meter.
Not fun and bad rewards. Yeah, so the previous, I think these are kind of on par with previous rewards. The rewards for these pocket dimensions weren't that great. I think the first one was really good, but not great rewards, but it was pretty easy. Now it's hard and not good rewards. So do you think they should change these rewards or just adjust the content?
I think maybe both. One of the big things is, so they give us a 7 red sentinel and then a 3 diamond scientist supreme who doesn't need the diamonds. So if that was like a 3 diamond sentinel, that would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool. Maybe switch them. All right, let me know your thoughts, Valley Club. What would you want to see on this event? Easier content, maybe a difficulty slider, maybe scourges, maybe a few different versions of this with different rewards, and you could choose what rewards you want to get. But obviously everyone should get like these snow globes and maybe this battle world credits and things like that. But just change the rewards up a little bit. Quick thing, if you are struggling, Phantom Libs was on chat this morning and he was able to beat a lot of these nodes. He said you need the following for the end nodes: Kahhori, Skirmisher, Miss Marvel Classic looks like she is needed, but if you do have her, maybe you got lucky on one of these drops, you bought that character. Healer, the middle Wasp, Striker behind Miss Marvel, Kahhori behind Miss Marvel, Guardian Striker corner, and Ironheart as a Raider. That is what he used to beat a lot of these nodes. So if you're struggling and you have those characters, maybe that'll help. And announced yesterday, tomorrow, December 19th, which is today, Shadow King will be getting changed to his passive listed below. In Battle World and War, before this character takes a turn, this character and all astral allies speed bars cannot be reduced. So they're a slow team, this helps with that. And on enemy turn, gain 5% to speed, a maximum of 25% for self and all astral allies. And this is for his awakened passive only. Now, we were talking about this beforehand. This was only available for sale. This was never available in a milestone or came with a character or anything like this. It's only for sale with this awakened passive, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was like a $35 offer, so I didn't buy it because it was just that passive.
All right, and there is a rumor going around that this change was made because some of the top alliances were losing with their astral team and they just want to be able to spend and win. Is that what this change is telling you, or is there some other reason behind this?
I do see this team on defense a little bit in Alliance War. Myself, I've been using it on offense just because they can take out a lot of good teams.
I as far as using that offense.
Yeah, they can take out some pretty good teams, especially if you need to take out like Mephisto comp. You take out like, who do I take out? I think I take out Moondragon and then throw in like Apocalypse type of thing, and I can do some bigger counters with it. So they are a good offensive weapon. On defense, if they're a little bit like maybe a million punch up, I'll use like Superior 6 with like Mysterio Vulture and stuff like that, so they can be beaten by some of the older teams. So I think that's just a little bit more of a safeguard, because Night Stalkers can't punch into them now anymore with this, because you can't reduce the speed bar. You can't use Superior 6 because Green Goblin can't rewind them. So this is going to change things, and I'm glad it's only in Battle World and War, because if that was in Crucible, that would be very impactful.
So you see this as more of a change for defensive teams, not as much offense, because the offense was already pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, it's more for the defensive side of things to give them some added protection, make it harder counters.
And whenever Battle World comes back, this looks like a great change, right? Or if you have the Awaken ability, because it hasn't really been available. But how much is this going to affect scores for Null once Battle World comes back?
The extra speed's going to be pretty impactful. So like a lot of them have about 120 speed. So adding 25% speed on top of that would be an extra about 24 plus. That's an extra like 30 speed for a lot of the characters. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, so it should help a little bit if you are getting this. And when do you think this is going to be available? A year from now in the raid store? Is this ever going to be available for free to play, or is this just going to be available to purchase?
I didn't think about that, because I don't think they're considered was cash only. I'm guessing about 6 months. Maybe it's going to be like a 4th of July event store or something. So
I hope it's available. I hope it's available, not just with cash. I hope it's available for some event that we have to grind for or something like that.
Yeah, if they switched out like the basic to where the donations, once that one's done, throw this in there for the donations. That way the people that bought it can still take advantage of it. I'd be fine with that.
How do they know when we're done though? Because we started when it launched. Some players may be missing a day. Some players might have started a little later. So how would they know when they're done? Or just put both in there maybe after a certain point.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that would be good, because I think I'm at like maybe 120 as far as the count that I have right now, because we're trying to hit all 5 boxes. But
okay,
yeah,
nice. All right, we have potential engaging content coming up. Now the rewards, they don't look that good, but kind of like like Cosmic Crucible, if it's fun, the rewards for me, they don't have to be as good. So this is kind of like a scourge is what I'm seeing. Emergency transcending time, space taking shape. You need all your commanders. So this is 16 missions. Highest run score is going to count. You have unlimited attempts and only your best performance is being counted. Now, there are some requirements. The top teams, you need gear tier 18 for minute missions, gear tier 19 for non-mythic characters on that final push. So there are some requirements. This doesn't look like this is new player-friendly content, but endgame players get some stuff for that. Now, there's going to be 12 difficulties. Like I said, a limited number of packs, and they can bolster enemy teams and hinder teams. I think that's great. And I hope this, some of the changes that they wanted to implement for Shadow King, wrong timing. It was trying to end the middle of the event, but it looked like it would be fun. Hopefully that's some of the stuff that we have here. Now the rewards, they don't sound that great to me. Some frames, some snow globes that you could choose your rewards are, and I guess the frames are in the store right now. If we go there, and it's not showing up on BlueStacks, but I think on my iPhone it is showing up. Frames and avatars. I'm hearing there is MODOK here. I'm hearing there's Living Tribunal here. Have you seen this? And what characters are in this portrait setting? Because this is what I'm seeing right here.
No, I honestly didn't check those. I didn't see they were in game yet, but I'm all for it. It's more bragging rights and fun content with bad rewards, which I'm fine with. That way, people that don't have those gear tier 18, 19, then they're not really missing out. So I'm actually fine with this. This tells me that they are listening to how bad the trials were. So having it to where we have positive and negative packs on there, I love it.
All right, so it says milestones, doesn't say a leaderboard, so this should just be fun. This should just be fun. You're not competing with other players trying to grind for your last score. You just get the milestones and then you get all stuff. At least that's how I'm reading it. Hopefully when it launches, it's exactly like that. All right,
yeah,
Kahhori shards. Oh,
I was just gonna say, I'm curious how long this is gonna last. If it's gonna be like the 19 days, like the Frozen Dimension also, because it doesn't have a time frame.
yeah, nothing listed here. Hopefully it's a long time, and that's our stuff that we have to do during the holidays, because as we know, the devs usually go on vacation. I think this year they're going on vacation from the 21st of December to the 2nd of January. So this is what we got to do until then. All right, we also can get some more Kahhori shards next week, 2 Turtle Doves event. That is going to be coming starting on December 23rd, and we have some information about the data mines for that. Are you a little surprised that they're pushing the Kahhori release event so far back? And this will allow us to use Kahhori in that temporal dimension, or the frozen dimension, right? Because we have a lot of time before it ends.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's good. I'm wondering if that's why they also have the frozen dimension lasting so long. That way people can actually use her and stop getting paper cut to death. So
I would like that. I hope we get the Miss Marvel Classic release also in that, because I wanna have fun in the temporal dimension. All right, we have another character coming though, Medusa, coming later this week. She's slated to be released on the 20th, so tomorrow. What are your thoughts on Medusa? What does she bring to the team? What value add does she bring to your roster if you're someone like myself that's not really into war?
She's the beat stick, so she does a lot of damage. She gets a lot of crit damage as well, which is good. The big key for her though is going to be her passive for some plug and play use. On the passive, enemies cannot spawn with the evade, and then if you keep going down further, it's also gonna. So level 2, they can't get death proof either. So that is gonna help you on plug and play comps on there if there's a lot of characters that spawn in with evade and death proof to help you get through those.
I like that. That's good. All right. So is there a value case for me after Frozen Dimension is ended? I'm not sure if I really need her. I'm not ever into war. The requirements in my alliance, just do your 10 attacks. Doesn't matter what you do with that. Just do your 10 attacks. Is there any value for someone like myself that doesn't really like war for Medusa? Or I'm not really considering Frozen Dimension on getting her or not. So is there any value for me, or is she just a war character?
I think she's more war, but based on that passive, I think there's going to be comps where like death proof and evades are going to come into play for you to kind of get the jump on them. So I would say do like a minimal investment, at least get to like gear tier 18, as opposed to the 19 for you. For the casual, I'd at least get to like the teal gear on there. You might need to use her also on later content down the road.
So obviously on those things like the sword satellites, things like that, and we do have some data mines about that. So I guess in other content, but the primary game mode war, maybe not Crucible, obviously not the raids, not the arena. So some of these type of events coming up is where I think her main value will be realized. But we have a big event going on right now. If you don't already have him at 7 stars, old man Logan, he is back, baby. All right, how exciting is it for someone that does not have Old Man Logan? How valuable is he right now in the game?
He was game breaking when he came out. He was so amazing. He still has a lot of use. So even though he doesn't have like those new stats, which I can only imagine what Old Man Logan with those stat reworks would end up being, he'd be a monster. I still use him every single day.
Me too. I even use him in the raids. I replace Cyclops and the Extreme X-Men and use him in the raids. So he's a raid character as well for me.
Yeah, the only game mode I don't use him in is Arena, but I use him in War, I use him in Cosmic Crucible, I use him in raids, Battle World. So he's good everywhere besides arena.
A lot of similarities with this and the previous events, but there are some changes to help players make more progress. This awesome character roster, we've dialed back the difficulty of cosmic bio nodes. So I went in there this morning. I wasn't really playing, I was just autoing it. A couple of my characters got killed. It seemed pretty hard. Now it was difficulty 15, full max out, but when I actually played it, we got through it, no characters died. So how difficult, what did they do to reduce the difficulty? Did they reduce some stats? Did they change up some characters? Because I don't remember what it was like before, and I think it's still kind of hard, but that was the difficulty 15 max pack. So
right.
what have you noticed about these cosmic bio nodes?
I actually haven't done those. So
Okay.
usually I'm like a good like trial and like scourge person, but the old man Logan and the latest one just kind of set me back because there's no like negative impacting packs on there. So I'm just gonna ignore that event.
There's snow globes. There's snow globes though in the rewards.
Is it worth 3 million gold to me then? I don't know.
Wait. What gold? I'm not buying anything. I'm just going into here, going to rewards, autoing this stuff. Look at all these snow globes here. All these snow globes.
Yeah, but I can just spend 3 million gold and get my time.
Or you could put it on auto, go eat dinner, come back, a node is done. You go to the next one, put it on auto, because I just autoed the first 2 nodes and I got all the snow globes already.
Well, that might be doable.
The rest of this stuff, I may or may not grind for this Crimson Yard, this Crimson Yard probably will, because we have a level cap coming up next year, level cap 105, and probably tier, what are we at, 19 now, so 20 coming up. So I'm probably gonna do this eventually, and the good thing is, another long event. We got 18 more days on this, so the holidays, I got nothing to do. I'll probably go finish this stuff. So I like that it's back. The other thing, no leaderboard for this, so that's a good thing if you don't have them unlocked. Or is that a bad thing? I'm thinking that's a good thing, but is that a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. You're not competing with other people, so you can just kind of do this at your own leisure. You don't have to try to do an efficiency-based thing. So I like that.
Are we missing out on rewards with, or are players that don't have Old Man Logan at 7 stars, are they missing out on rewards without a leaderboard though? I like the non-competitive aspect. All right, so I guess that's what you're missing out. And I guess the most important question, when is this character going to be a permanent legendary? This is what, this 4th run? Normally I think they do 3 runs, they become permanent, unless I'm remembering that wrong. So when do you think it's going to be permanent?
It might be after this one's finished then, because I think they did that with Green Goblin Classic.
I hope so. This has been way too long, and he's such a good character that I think everybody should have that unlocked easier.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. We got a new vote, Hellfire Club. Is Emma Frost getting a rework on this?
I hope so. They'd have to do some interesting things to her kit because she was mainly there for the staying and passive. So I'm curious what they would do with like the special and ultimate.
Are we gonna get a 3rd Emma Frost in the game? Because there's Sebastian Shaw that I know, Emma Frost, and the rest of them I don't really know. So Sebastian Shaw probably coming, right? And are we gonna get 3rd Emma Frost, or is Emma getting a rework?
So I would think it would be Emma Frost rework, hopefully Mr. Sinister, Shaw, one of these 3, and then somebody else. That's what I hope. Okay.
I don't know if Sinister's on there, but on the original Hellfire Club, maybe I'm wrong. But I would like him on the team. I think that would be a cool addition to the team, just thematically having that clone mechanic on that team. But
or what about Madeline Pryor? She'd be an awesome addition too.
Oh my goodness, that was such a good character model that I never used because it's a war character. I'd like to use that character. Yeah, bring back Madeline Pryor into use. Bring back Emma Frost and Madeline. I don't know. Maybe there's too many Emma Frost, even though thematically stuff. All right, but on to these new characters here. Sauron with no rings, Azazel, and Selene. Who are you going to vote for? It looks like the voting starts later today. Who are you going to have your initial votes for? Who do you want to see come to the Hellfire Club and Marvel Strike Force?
So I'm torn. This is a really good vote. I'm either going to go Azazel or Sauron are the two. When I looked at Selene though, she looks very interesting for what they could do. I'm just more attached to Sauron from being a kid and Azazel from learning more about him as far as like his lore and everything. So,
all right, we have a lady in the game. We have a lot of ladies in the game. We have Nightcrawler, who's he seems kind of like Azazel, except he's blue instead of red. We have 0 dinosaurs in the game. I'm voting for Sauron. Valley Club, let me know who you're voting for down in the comments below, but I think it's gonna be the dinosaur in the game for me.
I'm hearing more people say they're gonna go for Sauron. That's what I'm hearing too.
Just for some variety. I voted for Panda Pool because we had 0 pandas in the game, so the same logic is gonna apply here for me. All right, we got another event that's coming that is going on right now. This one's based on using Ancient One, Old Man Logan Alliance, War, Earning, Path to Ms. Marvel Classic Orb Fragments, Nest Orb Fragments. Doesn't seem like a very good, rewarding event to me. Am I missing something here? Because I'm just not really pushing for this right now. The ranking rewards aren't that appealing to me either, because I'm not gonna get gold stars on Miss Marvel Classic for a long time, and she's not a dark character, so they're pretty cheap if I want to get more stars in her. Top 9,000 or top 10,000 or so. I'm not really spending campaign energy for that Nest Orb because I don't think it's that good. What are your thoughts on this event? Am I missing something here? Are these rewards better than I'm actually thinking?
I'm just doing what I do every day. I'm not pushing, so I'm doing my 50 core refreshes, and that's really about it.
Gotcha. So yeah, I normally would do those every day, but this Nest Orb just doesn't seem like as good of an orb. I mean, normally at events I'll do the 50s, probably the 100s. I'm just doing the 50s right now just because it's not that good. We got some dark promos, dark diamond credits in there. We got some gold training mats as well. And then the center pillar is where you have your character shards. Ancient One, unfarmable. Oath, unfarmable. Everything else is farmable in this. So some of these orbs got really good drop rates for character shards. Some don't. This is one that doesn't. But is the reward not as much character shards? Is it more about these dark promos and dark diamonds, or this gold and this other stuff?
I think it's more about the dark diamonds, because actually one of those drop, I get kind of happy. So
okay. Did you get into these unfarmable characters in this Nest Orb at all?
No, I haven't.
All right, I've already gotten all these farmable characters, but hopefully they release some diamonds for like Old Man Logan or something soon that we can spend these on, because I've been hoarding them till they announce the next dark diamond or dark promo character. So hopefully,
same here.
Hopefully very, very soon. All right, we got some new characters coming. We got Jean Grey, Hercules, and 8 reworks. So Jean Grey is going to lead the Immortal X-Men. That's going to be a Cosmic Crucible offense team, and it's going to have reworks to Beast, Cable, Polaris, and Storm. Hercules is going to be joining the fight with a war offense team, the Mighty Avengers. They have reworks to Invisible Woman, Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Falcon. And there's going to be the Uncanny Avengers as well. Spotlight Raid team is going to feature Jean Grey and Hercules, and then those reworked Beast, Storm, and Falcon. I kind of like how they're doing this release. Now, I don't know how great this team is going to be. Obviously, you're going to need them for the Spotlight Raids, but you could either push more into this Immortal X-Men if you're more of a fan of Cosmic Crucible. You could push more into the Mighty Avengers if you're more of a war fan. What are your thoughts on this release method? It reminds me kind of like the Sinister Six. All these reworks happening, a few new characters, but a lot of reworks, making a lot of previously unusable characters usable. What do you enjoy this kind of release? Lots of reworks, less characters. Yes. What is the thing you enjoy most about this kind of release method?
Yeah. So my thinking is, while they're on break and during this entire patch, we have 2 new characters, and then we have all these reworks that we can kind of build up and kind of modulate how we want, just like the Sinister Six. Yeah. It's more kind of streamlined or pigeonholed as far as like the teams, because it's 3 teams out of there. The way I'm approaching this is I'm doing the Cosmic Crucible side first, then Spotlight, then into the War side. I am kind of Yeah, so since I'm more Cosmic Crucible, I want the Immortal X-Men to basically be done. I'm looking for diamonds on them, building them up. Now, I do see some plug-and-play use with some of the Mighty Avengers, so they're going to be the first war ones I do as well. So I'm just kind of picking and choosing the most beneficial character that I can use right now since Spotlight's not available.
All right, let's talk about these two new characters, and we'll talk about your favorite reworks. Jean Grey, you mentioned before we started recording, the big thing that stands out to you for her is on spawn in Cosmic Crucible and on spawn in the raids. If the character has 4 or more Immortal X-Men allies in Crucible and more Uncanny Avengers allies in the raids, you're going to reduce the spawning ability energy of each enemy special by 10. That seems very, very strong and has some good use case in Cosmic Crucible. Probably not going to have that much use case in the raids because they're probably going to tune the enemies specifically needed for that. But Cosmic Crucible, how strong is this going to be?
Well, in raids, I mean, they can throw Odin's on there and he's still going to get his battlefield effect. He's just not going to be able to special, so... that's going to be fun.
They're going to tune this to make it very, very difficult in the raids, or make it so that you need this Uncanny Avengers to beat the Spotlight raids, or because if you don't have them, they're dead. Another team.
Yeah.
But what about Crucible? Let's go back to Crucible. What is this going to do to Crucible?
That's going to shake up the entire meta. So right now, the big brick wall is the Odin with the Illuminati team. You throw Black Knight. Right, you throw Black Knight in there. I use Sasquatch on there, and it's try to get through this team. Making it to where Odin can't special is huge. So basically, that's going to end up making it to where Odin goes offense. Maybe you use your Illuminati in offense now, like when Captain Britain was first released. So I could see Cosmic Crucible is going to turn into a huge offensive meta once this team comes out. Otherwise, this is a gimme team, I think. So that's going to take it out.
Hercules, this guy does a lot. Nothing really stands out because he's doing so much. Is there anything that stands out about his kit to you? He looks like he's gonna be beast in the raids, beast in war. What stands about his kit to you, or is it just like he's just a good character?
His passive again. So if we go down to the passive,
there's a long passive,
right?
A long one.
So it's the last brick of the section where it says whenever this character takes an action, perform the following. It basically clears all charge, copy and clear all positive effects, exclude and stealth, copy and clear revive once, and then in war offense and in raids, all of the allies do that as well.
That's a strong one. Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah, so he's a staining passive again. I'm curious how his damage is going to end up being compared with the new stats and everything. I think he's still going to hit pretty hard. I don't think he's piercing damage though, so that's good.
Yeah, he's going to be insane. Now, lots of reworks. Cable, good character or usable character right now, even without this rework, just because it's passive. What happens to Cable? Just Cosmic Crucible, or does he have some use outside of that game mode as well?
He's going to be like what Kang, just with better damage because of the stats. No turn meter rewind, but he is going to have that like 5% turn meter on spawn still. So he's going to have a lot of use.
Yeah, and that line is going to stay there. And even the crappy Cable still gets used nowadays. So Cable's going to be used many years from now just because of that line is passive still being there and updated stats. Polaris nothing really stood out to me about Polaris. Anything about this rework to you? Just Cosmic Crucible pretty much?
Yeah, I didn't really see anything fantastic on her kit either. Her or Cable is going to be like the worst character on the team, but Cable at least has more plug and play.
Yeah, that's just a passive from Cable, right? Storm, big damage. Now, one of the big things about her is exactly what it said in this, the dev notes here. You're using the basic, and then you could use big damage with the ultimate, or you could potentially get some stuns and slows with the special. Now you're not losing those charges of the special. How big of an impact is this going to be? Because Storm is going to be a raid character and a Cosmic Crucible character. Obviously, one of the ones that you need to build for this, but does she have value outside of those two game modes? Is she like Spider Society level now?
Her damage is ridiculous. She's gonna have that 20 charge maximum with the new stats. So even if you don't hit the 20, when you use that ultimate, it's just going to delete everybody off the field. The damage is going to be ridiculous for her.
Yeah, she's gonna be crazy, which kind of aligns with her character thematically, right? Because she's like an Omega level mutant, and she was an okay character in Marvel Strike Force. Now she's up to that Omega level. I feel, at least on paper. Hopefully, in practice, she's actually like that. Beast, another one that's gonna be a raid character and a Crucible character. How important is he? Because I remember on the original X-Men, this character was like one of the most important characters on the team. Is he back to that spot?
He was a beast before, and I think he's still a beast. So he also has
puns all intended there, right?
Yes, absolutely. He also has plug and play viability. So if we go down to his special, so like they changed it from all astonishing X-Men to all allies. So he's basically a buff clear. He's going to be healing the entire team. Heal self and all allies, not just X-Men, for his special for 20% of his max health, which he's got a lot of health now. And then his ultimate, I really love how, depending on what X-Men's with him, like the Blaster Brawler gets offense up. I always love that aspect of the kit on there, so.
Yeah, so you could use them on X-Men teams, they're getting all this stuff, or plug and play teams. I thought that was always a cool ultimate as well. I'm glad that had some updated stats. All right, Mighty Avengers, the war team. Falcon is going to be on that raid team, though. What use case do you see for Falcon? Just raids in war, or other places as well on this team?
There were certain areas already where he used him for his special to get that extra turn meter, and now that I can actually get to his ultimate, and the ultimate will do damage, is a huge added benefit.
Yeah, I like it. And he was good before with the special, the turn meter, the speed manipulation. You know, it's a turn-based game, manipulating speed, gets it stronger. Invisible Woman, she didn't really stand out to me, but you said this was the one that you're really building up. What stood out about the Invisible Woman kit to you?
So there's a couple things of her kit. So with her passive, the barrier. So anytime you hit somebody with barrier, she's going to be retaliating, and she's the barrier queen. Her special is now going to call an assist in, so the special actually is going to be doing some damage on there.
The damage stats went up, so will those counterattacks actually going to do some damage now?
Yeah, and she's going to have a lot of health. When I was looking at like the napkin math on there, I got her over like 10 million health. So she's going to be very crazy. Now, one thing that's kind of in question for me is her passive currently has gained 20% health for herself and fantastic for allies. So I want to throw her with like some Illuminati and Mr. Fantastic. I think that could be very interesting.
I think so as well. All right, Scarlet Witch, Vision. If you're not into war, build these characters up at all, because they're not going to be using raids either.
Yeah, Vision, he's going to have like a turn meter rewind on his ultimate still, ability to block in new stats, but he's going to be annoying because the AI dodge for 25% means 100%. So.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that. Spider-Man and Vision were so horrible back in the day. Yeah, Vision actually might be in the meta if these increased stats bring him back up to where he was. Scarlet Witch, she wasn't that great. I think she's going to be on the team. Any thoughts on her?
You have to use the full team to get the full benefit. They're kind of cookie cutter in it that way. Something I do like is they gave Scarlet Witch and Vision the Proxima Midnight Corvus Blade treatment to where they keep assisting each other.
On their basics,
Right, but with Vision's kit, like you have to use Scarlet Witch to get the full benefit out of his kit, like adding the trauma on there. It's gonna be on the ultimate, right there. Apply trauma and the ability block to all support, but you have to have Scarlet Witch and 3 Mighty Avengers, which means you have to use the 4-man team on there.
So pretty much a full team, you get this. If non-full team, you don't get it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to using these characters in raids, looking forward to using Cosmic Crucible, and eventually I'll build them up for a ward and just auto with that as well. All right, speaking of Cosmic Crucible, I like this game mode. It got pretty challenging this week. The first 2 days, I didn't even set my defense, so let's look at this last day because I actually have the correct teams on defense. One of the big things that I saw, what did I notice? Black Knight offense this season to counter the Kahhori. Where are you using Black Knight? Do you prefer him on defense this season or on offense for that Kahhori counter?
So initially I was going to do defense. I did end up pulling him, I think the night before off of defense, and I'm glad I did. He's basically just going to be an offensive tool if you see a Kahhori on there, because I'm going against like 2 and 3 diamond Kahhoris with Super Scroll at the same time.
Fun.
And of the Annihilators. Yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, you can one-shot that team. It takes a huge investment, though.
Odin, Mephisto, Apocalypse.
So Annihilators, Kahhori, Super Scroll. It's Black Knight, Apocalypse. I did Tangled Web and Cosmic Ghost Rider, and I got close to a one-shot. The bigger challenge for me, though, was they had Mephisto in there over Super Scroll, and that was a pain because after the double sec, you don't know where the turn meter or the abilities are going to stand. So that was fun.
All right. So other than the Black Knight Kahhori situation, were there any other rooms that really stood out to you? I know Astral is being used on defense in some places. The Illuminati, very strong offensive team, but I'm seeing them on defense, and I even have it on defense as well. Any big surprises that you're seeing from the rules that you saw on paper?
I think room 2, when we get the right team in there, is going to be a challenge because you have to time when you're using your ultimates. So I think 1, 2, and 3, depending on the team that's in there. Now, if you really want to make people upset, move your stage 5 over to stage 4, and people are going to have a very difficult time clearing that. So tech and skill. So tech and skill, when they get speed up. Hank Pym is tech. He's going to keep getting speed up. And Captain Britain, because he has speed up as well, he's going to be getting barriers. So you're going to piss a lot of people off with that.
All right, I've done it. And you can blame Dacier for that if you're facing me next week.
Sorry, guys.
I'm not. And as usual, we know some things that are coming up based on data mines. And obviously, data mines, sometimes they turn out, sometimes they don't. And usually they've been turning out, but it's not always the case. So we have now some info on the Avengers Fitness Challenge. This looks like the month-long milestone event for January. And you have your elastic band, which looks like to be the first event. We have some info on that. Stopwatch, headband, energy drink, and a lot of dumbbells. I like that it's like fitness related. This is right up my alley. I think this is my favorite month. What do you think of this Avengers Fitness Challenge? Following milestones, stretch goals, Phoenix Force Fitness, mental mastery, Omega training.
It fits the theme. I mean, once the new year hits, everybody's like, hey, I'm going to go to the gym more. And then about a month later, if that, they stop going to the gym. So it fits.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, the January is the busiest time at the gym. I didn't even think of that. I just thought, you're like working out. They're cool. Your logic makes way more sense, though. That's probably why it's there. All right, Jean Grey looks to be the next character coming. That's not a big surprise, but Zombie at the Party. Now, this looks to be, you're getting points to the month-long milestone event this month, December, the Ice Queen Gala milestone. And it says Zombie at a Party. So for the game milestone progress, you need absolute A-Force characters in Alliance War, spending Winterland energy, earning the New Year 2025 orb fragments. I don't think that's even in the game yet. From the ISO 8 campaigns, completing the season of giving web milestones, redeeming daily free claims. Rewards include Zombie, Scarlet Witch, Red Stars. Do you think this will be in the milestones or the leaderboards?
No, something just hit me. So we're getting Red Stars in an event for Zombie, Scarlet Witch, but Zombie Juggernaut's not farmable yet.
I wonder if he's going to be farmable very, very soon, or if this is just kind of a... Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think we've ever had Red Stars for Zombie Scarlet Witch. I think it was limited, and the only way you could get it was... Actually, could you even get Red Stars with just offers? There was offers for it? Okay. Yes, I guess this is the first time that you could get it, because it's not in a store. You can't buy them with dark promo credits. With Zombie Juggernaut, you can. So... yeah. Good, I guess.
Where's Zombie Juggernaut? I need to get him to 7 stars still.
He's in the wallet farming right now.
Apparently so.
Actually, I don't even think you could buy shards for him. So hopefully that comes very soon. I think when did they make Zombies Iron Man farm ball? When did they add him to those incursion campaigns? Was it at the beginning of the year?
It was right at the end of the Zombie Juggernaut event.
Okay, so it was last October they did that. All right, so they're a little behind the Zombie Juggernaut.
Yeah,
they're a little behind with it. Okay. All right, so now this one, stretch goals. This is for a January event, and what it says about this one: collect lucky coins from campaign nodes, free claim special offers, completing the survival training web milestone, and in the rewards include Miss Marvel Classic shards. So January, it looks like when we're getting some shards for Miss Marvel Classic, unless you get really lucky in one of those orbs. Crimson gear, T3 level 1 ions, diamond orbs, and then you're getting that elastic band. What do you think of this timing of this Miss Marvel Classic release event or Phase 2 event?
It kind of lines up with what they've been doing. I actually like her as a character, and when she gets huge, she's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I just wish it was a little earlier, but I'm glad we could get some shards for her. All right, 2 Turtle Doves milestone. That looks to be the event coming next week, as outlined in last week's blog post. Sword Satellite. You're going to earn these best of 2025 orbs advancing through Sword Satellite. So more of these like limited time events. We got a pocket, or we got a frozen dimension. We got a temporal cataclysm or whatever that's called. We have old Man Logan trials. Lots of things going on right now while they're on break. I think that's a good thing. It doesn't require much maintenance unless something breaks, and hopefully everything's working properly, but it just gives us something to do and they don't have to do too much on that. How hard do you think this Sword Satellite is going to be? Like the Frozen Dimension or some of the previous ones? I mean, it obviously will be gated by like A-Force or something like that, because they usually are by the most recent team. How difficult do you think it'll be, though?
So the Sword Satellite was one where we had 5 characters to choose, because Kiln Tower was the 3.
I like Kiln Tower better. This is the not as good one.
Yeah, so I think this one here, they're going to add more floors again to it.
They should, yeah.
Hang on. Sorry, cat kept meowing.
So add more floors to it is the last thing you said.
Yeah, so I think they're going to add more floors to it. Usually, I believe they add about 3 to 5 floors. And I think Sword's been a little bit since we've had that one. So they could be adding even more floors than that. They're probably going to say have to use Absolute A-Force would be my guess, unfortunately. But I usually look forward to these Swords.
Astral. And Astral. So if you've built Astral, Battleworld's gone, but I guess you could progress through Sword Satellite. I'm my guess. 6 floors, 3 for Astral, 3 for Absolute A-Force. And hopefully you get lucky on those orbs and you can get some Absolute A-Force and get through Sword Satellite. All right, we get some character models for the new characters. Hercules. This is kind of what he's going to look like here. Obviously none of the textures or anything like that. Looks like a beefy character model. The animations for the avatars for the basic, special, ultimate, and passive.
That ultimate, if he ends up doing that, that's going to be awesome. Looks like he's picking up the ground animation, or something.
That would be cool. Like Atlas or something. That would be cool. Yeah. I hope the animation's really, really strong for that. All right, Jean Grey. This is what she's going to look like. Obviously, no textures or anything like that. Thoughts on this character's model and some of her avatars for basic, special, alt, and passive?
I'm actually excited for Jean Grey. So I think that looks like they nailed it with that, based off of that the banner that we got to see of her and the icons there. It looks like they nailed her.
Yeah, so this is I'm looking forward to this team. I like raid teams, I like arena teams. Not so much on war teams, but Cosmic Crucible teams as well. So this is 2 of those marks for me. So I'm looking forward to these teams. And hopefully the rest of 2024 looks good, and there's more things that we have to look forward to. I'm looking forward to the Uncanny Avengers. What are you most looking forward to coming up in January and the end of 2024?
I'm looking forward to the Immortal X-Men. I'm a huge X-Men fan. They kind of got me into comics and everything when I was a kid. So more X-Men, I'm all for it.
All right. Well, since they're a Cosmic Crucible team, I'm looking forward to them as well. I wish there was more X-Men coming to the game, but reworking Beast, Polaris, Storm Cable, all good stuff there. I hopefully got some value from this video, and if you did, leave it a like. It is free for you, tremendously helps the channel. Make sure to check out Dacier's channel as well, and if you want to see the best way to future-proof your roster for 2025, check out the video up there. And are you ready for one of the final fist bumps of 2024?
I am. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin, Dacier, out. Have a great day, guys.